hit it, smoke it till we're stupid, twisted, hit it, smoke it till we're stupid, twisted, hit it, smoke it till we're stupid, twisted, hit it, smoke it till we're stupid.
You are now listening to a Power Requires Hustle production.
Yo, what up, world? This is King Kold, the rapper, and I'm hanging out in the Rabbit Hole studio. As you can hear from our brand new intro, we've switched it up a little bit for season 2, but this is episode 1 of season 2, and who better to start it out with than with Jamz, baby, manager of the Stars. Jamz, you want to say hi to your adoring fans, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Glad you guys had me on again, man. I appreciate this.
Yeah, no doubt, man. We appreciate you being on. It's funny because we've had artists leave the label and producers we've stopped working with and all this stuff. But like you have just, our fans have literally not forgotten about you the entire time, man. You're brought up pretty consistently, whether it's a project that you worked on with us or a video that you appeared in or whatever, you know, and it's pretty neat. It is, man. You were like this this iconic character within Power Requires Hustle that just it's just gonna always be there, which is cool. Because more often than not, when people cut ties with the label, it's over some really bad shit and there's bad blood. But not with us, man. We stay friendly the whole time, and I mean I stay busy and you stay busy. But if I need something or you need something, we're a phone call away, which is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. I guess I'm a glorified consultant.
No doubt. You should be like we should have to wiggle you on some kind of consultant fee or something. I don't know. Wouldn't be the craziest thing to happen to us, no doubt. But anyways, man, as far as things go, business has been okay, considering coronavirus has been killing everybody, and, you know, not literally, but, you know, business-wise, been fucking up everything. And man, it's been rough. Like, I was in the restaurant maybe, I don't know, I saw you after I left. And, man, it's a whole different world going into a restaurant now, man, because it's like every other table, everybody has to stay away from one another. It's some crazy shit, it really is.
Hell yeah, it has. It's been a learning process. We're kind of learning as we're going.
I mean, that's with all of it, you know, but yeah, you know, it's cool to see that restaurants are able to do their thing, but man, it's definitely not what it used to be. But all of my serving friends are like, man, we're actually doing pretty good. You know, people like overcompensate knowing the situation and circumstance, and that's awesome, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. Carryouts tips are just insane heavy.
Dude, good. Let them get that money.
Absolutely.
America. I mean, look, there's no reason why people shouldn't be making money in 2021. You know, 2020 was rough on everybody, but it was learning curves, you know what I'm saying? Growing pains all the way around, you know?
I think 2020 said hold my beer, or 2021 said hold my beer, man.
Yeah, it really did, dude. We're really early on with it being January 14th. You know, so I guess this will actually hit on the 20th or something. I don't know. I'll put it up when I get around to it. I got a guy working on the graphic work. We're good. Like I said, man, we're going a whole beautiful new route with it. Got a new intro. It's gonna be tight, you know. So I wanted to have new art, you know, and I wanted a new thumbnail that would just pop. So it's what we're doing, baby. We keep it moving.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Anyways, James, so King Kold the rapper is gonna put out another album March 26th, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really tight. Do what?
Shit, I'm asking you to leak stuff.
No, what are you asking?
What's the album title?
Oh, it's called One Hell of a Party.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, it's super dope, man. Justin Parker did the cover photo. or the artwork for it. It's the first album that I'm actually engineering in advance and kind of making it shorter than the other ones because we're going to put it on vinyl, which is going to be super dope.
That is awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's just another big step. But we found well, we didn't find through the publishing company that we use, we were able to work out a really cool deal where we don't have to deal with our own physical distribution. People literally go through them, buy the album, they make it as it's ordered, and then they send it to them. We don't even touch it. We just get a cut, which is awesome.
Right, yeah. Third party drops, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, you know, it got to the point where, like, I was tired of having a basement full of CDs. And it really got bad after we weren't able to do events and tour and stuff. I'm like, man, I got stuff stacking up because I'm always putting out shit. And dude, it just got to the point where it was, I wanted my basement back. You know, so now that's the option, is to just go, you know, purely digital from our release standpoint, and then let a third person company handle the rest, you know?
That's going to be the theme for 2021. You're going to have to change the business model and adapt with the times.
Oh, no doubt, you know, because it's hard to get to the post office, you know, 5 times a week when it takes you an hour and a half to get through the line. Bruh, that has been just a madhouse, a real pain in the ass. So I had to eliminate that. You know, that's all there is to it. So now it's somebody else's fucking problem.
That's awesome. So you said the guys got some questions for me?
Oh yeah. So Harley Freeman's question that he drilled into the ground over and over was it wasn't even a question. It was like a demand. He was like, yo, tell him to come back to Facebook. Yeah, I'm like, fucking, why would he do that? Like, Jamz is away from that bullshit. It's not like Facebook has gotten any fucking better since he left. It's actually gotten worse. It's more toxic than when he left.
Yeah, it is. It was an interesting social experiment, but yeah, I've since moved on.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Like, I literally all the time bring up the point where I'm like, man, I can't wait to actually get rid of the social media aspect of things. Because it drives me crazy to have people that I don't know, you know, sharing my kids' fucking birthday pictures and shit like that. It's just super weird to me. It always has been. And it's not like I've been like a recluse by telling people that. But, dude, it's just weird to me and I don't like it. So, like, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm moving everybody that follows my music to a music King Kold page. And, dude, I'm really reducing the numbers on my personal Facebook. Because, dude, it's just gotten out of hand and ridiculous.
You know, and it only takes a couple toxic people, and then your feed is just full of all kinds of hateful shit.
Oh, dude, no doubt. And, like, I experienced that, too. And I'm like, man, I gotta get rid of that shit. So, you know, and that's all there is to it, man. Like, I love everybody, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. But, bro, I ain't gotta fucking sit through it and suffer, you know? And it's not even, like, people's individual opinions. It's the assholes that get on their post, and then argue with them like they're going to change their opinion on things.
Yeah, I don't think humans are quite ready for anonymous dialogue, you know?
Yeah, no shit. There's a reason why aliens surf the fuck past us and don't stop to say what up. We're like the ghetto of the universe.
Dude, when aliens fly by, you can hear their doors lock.
That's fucking great, dude. I hope to God you came up with that yourself, because that's fucking hilarious.
I heard that from somewhere, man.
I don't care where you heard it from, but bro, it should be on a t-shirt because that's so legit. But yeah, dude, 100%. We're kind of like the ghetto of the universe, and I accept that, and that's cool, you know. But with everything going on, you know, a lot of people have looked different ways for you know, how they're gonna, you know, live their life in the future. Like, I've always had a solid 10-year plan. I'm 4 years into it, and it's like I finished the game, and now I'm doing like side quests and shit, because I've literally knocked off all the major shit that I thought would take a lot longer, and it really didn't. You know, because like the COVID shit has made me knock so much shit off of the list because it's unattainable now. That like, dude, I've just accomplished a bunch of shit, and it makes me look like a way more successful musician than I am. My options are just so much more limited now. So like, I can't tour, so like I knocked that shit off of the list. Doing music videos is kind of a pain in the ass because like you have to have a whole production thingy now. It's not like just when me and you would go and do it and then do it all ourselves, and it's like a whole fucking thingy now. And I
Yeah, and I
enjoy.
don't think the market will tolerate, just a rogue guerrilla stuff shot that, like the stuff we shot. I don't know if I think they're past that now. I don't know if they put up with that anymore. You're gonna need to probably have to go bigger in production.
I mean, I would just want to go bigger because it's not even because of like the production aspect of it. It's like the time consuming aspect. Like if I put out a music video now, I want it to be like a whole movie, long storyline, like kind of like a Bat Out of Hell type thing, or like a Michael Jackson video where he has like a real long build up and then the song and then some other shit happens. Like I want it to be more of like a motion picture, and it would take so long and it would cost so much money, and it's more or less like a George Lucas idea. But I mean, I've got phenomenal music videos that are doing great numbers, so like it's not like I have to add to that. You know what I'm saying? And when you're using the same or actors or the same people in different parts, or like people fall off, or like you got to replace people here and there, it gets to the point where you're like, why do you want to run the integrity of your storyline by trying to replace people or like confuckle things? Just leave it the way it is because it was good times and it was what it was.
Right.
I think too many people try to like hold on to the past of things instead of looking towards the future of what can I do to make things better, instead of dwelling on things that might have been great, but were sometimes trial and error things. So like, what did you learn from that? What can you do better? What's going to be more beneficial to you down the road? Like I take a lot, you know I don't know. I take smaller steps into things. I'm not as gun ho about things as I used to be. And that's just kind of being careful about my product and how I want my music to be pertained by the general populace.
Yeah. You keep chipping at that wall, man. It will fall down.
I mean, eventually I think it will, but I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm like, man, what wall am I even chipping at? Because,
Right.
after you put out so much music and like it's out there in rotation, and dude, it's all doing great. Like none of it is doing horrible, but some of it's doing great, and I didn't think it would do as good as it did, which is super obscure and kind of like I have no idea why it worked out that way. I mean, it's cool that it did, but it's like why would somebody like this song that I put like $200 in the building post to this song that cost me 2,700 or whatever the fuck? It's just so
Right.
hit or miss. It's like why? And like I said, without being able to do tours and keep it moving like that, dude, it's hard to have the motivation to like keep throwing shit out there the way that I have been. I mean, I put out 2 albums last year. I got another one that's done and I'm going to release in March. So I mean, I doubled the amount of music that I had out there in 1 year by putting out really big releases. And now this new one, like I said, it's going to be shorter. The songs are more to the point. Some of them I let the beat ride instead of having an intro where I'm talking. That way you kind of get a better feel of the instruments. Like it's just I'm just going through this weird phase.
Absolutely, man. I mean, on like Slayer's second album, they had a song that starts with the guitar solo. It just, bam, guitar solo. Here we go.
Oh no shit! So it just jumps right into it.
Just, yeah, from silence to just full on, like,
Damn, dude, that's actually badass. I'm gonna look that up.
yeah, just trying different things.
Yeah, I mean, and dude, you got to do that as an artist. Like, that's what I've always loved and respected about you is, man, you'll literally change your whole everything around. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way that you lay out your studio, one week you'll be working hardcore on vocals, and then like the next week I would come in and like you added like guitar to it, and you got drums, and you got electrical drums, you got like all this stuff going on. I'm like, holy fuck! And you got bass, and like you had all this. I don't know if you still have the stuff, but oh, okay, cool. But you had just this arsenal of shit that you could work with, and dude, that is so cool to me because like I just have rap music, so like, or I have gotten into producing some too, so. But I haven't shared those beats with anybody. But dude, I'm gonna email them over to you so you can check them out. I got like 17 of them that I made.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, off of some of it's Mixcraft loops, some of it, which is the majority of it, is loops, you know what I'm saying? Just bridging stuff together and using little pieces of stuff to build it. But I really got into like African drums, which is so sick, man, because like I don't know, I just really like the idea of like 2 to 4 hand drums going at any given time, like bongos, like I do it's and then I like guitars, like heavy metal guitar, so I mix that shit together, and it sounds like something that would fall out of like a Sonic the Hedgehog game. But like I told you, I got a buddy of mine that works for Sega, you know what I'm saying, so I'm really trying to get him to like wiggle me in there with that. But dude, it's a long, grueling process, and you actually have to publish your music differently to do that, which is insane. I didn't know that. But you actually have to publish it not through in a different way through the same company that we've used the whole time. It's just more of a commercial licensing aspect of it, and it gets super deep, and the percentages are different. It gets really dumb. And I'm really dumb and can't really understand it the way that I should be able to, but there's other people that are in charge of dealing with that shit.
Yeah. Well, that's super cool. You branched it out and tried new things.
Oh yeah, dude. Like for example, I did I got invited to do this mixtape with these folks out of Canada. It's called Slick Grimy Goons. And oh dude, it's awesome. Literally everybody is on this album, man. So many people do. Kung Fu Vampires on there, Twisted and Blaze Your Dead Homies on there. The Joker and QP are on there because it's on my track. And
a lot of fucking
dude, heavy hitting folks, man, for real. Like really, dude, the whole album is so tight. And that was based out of Canada. So dude hit me up today and was like, yo, do you know you're only a 9-hour drive from us? And he was like, you could literally come up here and we could set up all these, because they have all these shows that they're wanting to do. So dude, they want me to go up there, basically hop in an RV and live out of it for 3 weeks out of a month, and come back and have a week off from this tour. But man, I really think that I might do it, because to go to Canada would be super cool, literally, because it's cold as fuck. But it would just be really neat to branch out that way. And dude, our numbers in Australia are phenomenal, because we're on all these little independent radio stations down there, thanks to Stats VA and our homie Dismay. So yeah, dude, it's working out really good.
Hey, I'm gonna drop an Easter egg on Stats VA here.
Sure.
The rabbit hole video.
Yeah.
I snuck in a band name. It was the last thrash metal original act I was in. I tracked 2 albums of that album. It was called the band was called Broken, and I snuck that into the montage towards the end of the video.
Did you really?
I sure did.
No shit. I've got to go back and like look intently to catch it, I guess.
Yeah, you'll see it's in a multi-phase montage of stuff coming at you, and you'll see the word broken.
That's fucking tight, dude. See, Harley Freeman, we do cool shit. We do cool shit that like I don't even know about.
That's right. Like you were saying, you were using those African drums and stuff. I don't know if the fans know this or not, but I snuck real drums into Son of Mars.
No, I didn't know that. That's tight as hell. I had no idea that you did that.
Yeah,
Maybe no, you might have told me, but I 100% forgot.
Yeah, actually, in the interlude, I put a marching snare in there, real faint, and that 808 you're hearing isn't an 808. It's my floor tom for my stage drum kit. I tuned
shit.
it to match the song.
Dude, that's cool as fuck. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
swear.
not a digital 808. That's a real floor. That's my biggest floor tom in my stage kit.
Like, I literally will, you know how we built so many albums but spread it out and then we're like moving stuff around? Well, some stuff got wiggled and fiddled around because it worked out for which producers that I was working with at the time. But,
Right.
and sometimes it was who was mixing mastering stuff. Like, I would literally, like, for example, Dismay, Liam, he mixes a lot of our stuff right now, so, but like I like to send him a certain sound because I feel like he's best with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, so I'll send him that, or I'll send Phil Duckett something, or I'll send Ron something. It just depends on who's doing what at that time. And a lot of times it's how busy they are. Because, dude, you don't want to dump a fucking song on somebody that's going to take them 12 hours to mix. Because I did that. I did that to Dismay. Dude, remember that Better Days song? That's like super deep. It has 1 million wave files. And, dude, it's just take after take after take after take.
It was, yeah, I vaguely remember that one. Is it been released or is it coming up?
No, it's coming up. It's going to be on the next album, for real. We finally got it to the point where it's like super, super dope. But you had a whole lot of work that you did on it. And I was like, look, Liam, you're going to have to leave all that and then fix all my shit. And he was like, well, how am I supposed to do that? And I'm like, trust me, you'll be able to tell what's mine and what's his because his sounds way better, And it just does, dude. Like, it's hard for somebody to mix and master themselves because they have, like, this personal view of what they should sound like and be. But if you have somebody else looking at you and being like, nah, man, you're more of, like, this, then like it just makes sense to go with like who you are from what other people see you as instead of you as an individual, because everybody feels like fucking John Wayne or Hulk Hogan. They feel like they're tough. Most guys walk in a room and then they survey the room and they're like, man, I could kick a lot of these dudes' asses, if not all of them. You know what I'm saying? And it's just who humans are, but you definitely want to have other eyes and ears on your projects, as you go. I sent you all kinds of shit for you to listen to. And, when I was like, oh, man, how you feel about this? And you were like, oh, well, this, and this. I'm like, oh, man, yeah, I know. I fucking hate it, too. And then, we go back to the drawing board. And I'm like, man, wiggle around this and, like, let's fix this. And before you know it, man, boom, that consultation work comes back really nice. It's like, man, we fixed something and made it a classic, Like a Rocket Ship, 100%, dude. I listen to that song to this day, and I'm like, man, that song is so fucking tight because it really wasn't for so long. And hey, dude, we just worked at it, and then before you know it, it's like, man, this song is tight, and it grew on us, and it just developed its own thingy.
We refused to give up on that one.
Man, and you know what? There were a couple of them that we were like, man, we are fucking struggling through this. Like, I remember there was a couple sessions towards the end of us working together where, dude, I was having real problems hitting some of that shit. And, dude, to this day, I'll have a song that I'm working on where I can't hit it, and I'm like, oh, it pisses me the fuck off. Then I shut everything off and just leave it alone for a couple days, and then or the next day till the next day. Dude, I wake up 9:30 in the morning for no fucking reason. I finally have a chance to sit at the computer, and dude, I'll nail that shit like that, you know. But
sometimes you do. You got to walk away and reset. Almost like sleep between the next time you fuck.
Oh, 100%. It's like when we would work on music together, it'd be super late at night, you know. So I dealt with raising 3 kids and work some days, you know what I'm saying, and then going to record, and it's like, dude, I was so fucking spent, you know. By the time I even got there, it's amazing that I got anything done. And then I go back through the files and I start counting songs. I'm like, oh, I got a whole lot of shit done. You know?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
You got that stuff done.
So much. Like, dude, even going through the files, I have no idea what some of the shit is until I listen to it, and I'm like, oh yeah. And then you realize how much effort went into all of it. You know, for like it to be such a structured, long-term plan. You know, just a web of ideas that create this beautiful plethora of art, you know, a huge catalog. And dude, it's been great working on it. It really has. Like, it's had its ups and downs, but it's been great considering that so many people are having such problems in 2020, man. I'm really happy to have the amount of fans that I have, and the amount of people that believe in the product still, even though we can't be there in their face 24/7 with events and shit, you know.
Maybe start doing those drive-ins, man.
You know what I thought about that? I don't know how I'm gonna fucking do it. I know that in Canada they're definitely doing events. In Tennessee they're doing events still. I'm just gonna feel it out and see what happens, though. You know, it's not something I'm gonna rush into, not just for my safety, but like for other people's safety. I don't want to invite 1,000 people together in a fucking chalky ass building, and then all of them get sick, you know, from whatever the fuck. Like, I feel horrible, you know.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't want to be responsible for one human being dying. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna avoid all of that, you know, as much as possible, within reason. You know, I don't even have artists come and record in the studio, bruh. All of that's on lock right now.
Yep.
Like, nobody's gonna come over sick and kill off me. Nope, I got shit to do.
You bring your own pop filter, fool.
Right? Where's your sanitizer? Get out of here. Yeah, but dude, it's just been an uphill fucking climb this whole year, and I'm glad to get into another year, which looks like it's going to be a steep ass mountain too. But we'll see what happens. It can't be that horrible.
Nah, we've been through worse.
100%. Jamz Drums, you've been working on any music?
No, not much, man. You know, I knock the dust off the practice kit from time to time.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'll take several weeks off, and then I'll go down there and I'll play like 3 or 4 fucking albums.
Dude, I'm telling you, Elton John, when he would make music, he would literally, he wouldn't make it all the time. And I've decided that, you know, that's what I've started doing. Is like, now that I've got a million fucking song concepts that are laid out and I've got a good blueprint, I just go in and lay out the verses now. And dude, I literally will take, I don't know, 2 weeks writing, you know, several different verses on different songs, you know, weaving back and forth between them to get in the mood to fuck with them, you know, to like literally go to my studio and lay them out and like structure them and add those elements to them. But dude, I wait until I'm in the mood for those particular songs, which is super crazy, because we used to literally lay out 5 different songs from different perspectives, and it was just so different than what it is now, you know.
Yeah.
But not like that was in a bad way by any means. Because dude, building a fat ass catalog that can last a long time like that was definitely on the agenda. When you're buying beat packages, from artists and it's 300 beats deep and shit like we was doing.
Yeah, and that was the thing. If I had a tip for up and coming producers, and I don't mean producer in the means of beat maker, but in the Tom Werman kind of means of producer, like guys who turn Motley Crue into a functioning act.
Exactly, yeah.
From that point of view, never squash creativity. No matter what your artist brings to the table, fucking track it.
Yeah, because you never know what the fuck will come from it.
Never shoot anything down. Just let everything pour out of your artist and then sift through it and find the gold.
100%, because you got to sometimes. Because some of the shit I've laid down, man, I've gone back and listened to it and been like, what was I even doing? And then I go back and I'm like, hey, what if I change the cadence of this? What if it's like this instead of like this? And then I get real deep down the rabbit hole and I'm like, okay, I'm going to change this. And then I hate it. So, I got to go all the way back from the beginning and start from scratch. And, bruh, it's brutal. I can't tell you how many final, this is the real final, this is really it, saves I have on my fucking computer at this point, dude.
Oh, yeah, the rainbow of fucking thumb drives, man. Holy shit.
Oh, dude, we had a shit ton.
Like, we had the labels, and we'd write on them, and then we'd scratch them out, and we'd write, no, really, really, really final.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because, dude, we were extremely thorough with it, and that's how we had to be, because we were building a product from scratch, man. Like, trying to build our own sound and our own distinct a perspective on everything. And man, I really think
merchandise distribution, I was like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, dude, we were doing everything, all of that shit, but dude, we made it happen.
Yeah, wow, yeah, those are some crazy times, man.
Dude, it was like the events aspect of it was insane. But dude, we had a bunch of bookings. We had to turn down a couple of them towards the end because shit was just getting really, the last event that I did, I was double booked on the same day to rap and wrestle. But I rapped first and then went to the wrestling show. And dude, when I went to the rap concert, it was for UE for their revival benefit thing, right? Which was super cool. But they booked me to be the last artist, and I talked them into let me be the first one to play so I could get to the other event. And they were super cool about it, super nice. But I knocked out my set. Oh no, before I did the set, I was hanging out with Ron Rhodes. Weatherman. And
riot, man.
Yeah, dude, he was great. Super cool, man. I'm hanging out with him and Nicodemus and my homie Tom that does this bourbon review podcast thing, right? Or I guess it's a talk show more than it is a podcast. But anyways, so we're hanging out and he brought this bourbon that's like, I don't know, real fucking old. And we're doing shots of this. Like, we're feeling great. And then I do my set, and it's awesome. And I didn't know, but everybody else on the show was told that they could do, like, 2 songs. And, dude, I did, like, 35 minutes. And dude, I had no idea that everybody was told to do 2 songs because I was the closing act, I was the guy. But whatever, man, I had shit to do, So, and dude, at the wrestling event, I was the 3rd match, but I have this thing where I always get there early to make sure that everything's cool. Check in with Johnny. Say hi to everybody. You don't want to show up late. That's bad fucking etiquette in any business. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
dude, I show up there and we're shooting the shit, and everybody's, hey, yo, I saw your picture with Ron Rhodes, blah 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 blah. You hang out with him, and everybody knew Ron Rhodes, so they had to be like, yo, tell him I said hi, and like 30 people were like, tell Ron Rhodes I said hi. I'm like, cool, I will do that, and. Finally, I get out there, and dude, everybody knows that I have been taking shots with Tom and Ron, So they're making a joke of it, and dude, they run me in the match a little bit, and dude, they're just body slamming me and slapping my stomach, and dude, I swear they were trying to get me to throw up. They were like trying to get me to,
Heard you upside down and shit.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't anything I couldn't handle. Like, I mean, I'm not brand new from the block and, just started drinking anyways. But I do not drink anywhere near as much as I used to. So his old-ass bourbon was making me feel great. And when you're wrestling, dude, your adrenaline's going anyway, so you're feeling like Superman. So it's like, slam me harder. Dude, this shit was getting ridiculous, but because of that, I will never double book myself for an event again, because I had to, I didn't sacrifice either of them, you know what I'm saying, but I feel like just being able to devote the entire day to one or the other would have been way more beneficial.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah,
it's just one of those things, man. It's like, if I wouldn't have had a huge set at the rap show, it wouldn't have been such a big deal, in my opinion. But dude, rapping for 35 minutes will get you winded, and I did a bunch of really classics off of, a bunch of the classics off of the older albums, because I hadn't performed them live in years. And some of the shit I just did for giggles, just like obscure songs that I've never performed, literally, so I could just have like that footage of me performing them,
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta have like a goal within a goal within a goal,
Yeah. Here's another producer tip I'll drop on your peeps here. When you approach how you're going to mix your artist, keep in mind the stuff that you predict is probably going to be something played at live shows. Make your primary vocal as dry as possible.
100%.
Because your artist is going to be out there dry as fuck.
100%.
If you put a shit ton of effects on your main vocal track, he's going to sound thin as fuck in front of people, you know what I mean?
Bruh, trust me, I've seen some dudes look rough because of that on stage.
You got to deconstruct the track, because you got to think about it, that your guy's going to be out there singing that on a dry mic,
Yeah, and like how much do you want to expose your artist or overexpose your artist? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Unless you're one of those dudes that runs with a sequencer and you've got technicians and shit running laptops.
Which is different, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Some people do that
risky.
specifically for their vibe, yeah.
Yeah, it's real risky jumping patches like that live, man, because it can go really wrong.
Fuck yeah, and then where are you at? You're sitting there with a video you don't want to put out, a video you don't want leaked. Shit, and then you want to blame the technician. It's like, bruh, that was not his fault. That wasn't his fault at all. That people have this opinion and perception of you, and then when you get on stage, you cannot fucking deliver it. That's bullshit. You should be able to. They're your songs. They should sound like you. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm an old person, but you're 100% right. 100% right. So James, man, if you decide to come back to Facebook, Harley Freeman will send you a hug and kisses messages for sure. But dude, you know how it is with them Australian cats, man. They're very devoted, loving human beings.
Absolutely, mad respect, man. Those guys, yeah. Fucking mad respect.
Yeah, dude, they're great, for real. I genuinely love those dudes. We got a couple more on the set, Australian cats. We got a couple of Canadian dudes that work with us now. Dude, we're just branching out, taking over, making it happen. I got a guy in Singapore that wants to work with us, and everybody else is kind of like, about like his delivery and shit. But I'm like, dude, he literally will create like these love song melodies over these rap beats and then kill the rap the actual rap portion of the music. And dude, it's really really fucking cool. And I don't know what he's saying, but I know it's tight as hell because of how he's saying it. So like, it's just cool to have options of people from different countries that I can work with. You know what I'm saying? Singapore cats, dudes from Australia, dudes from Canada, producers
Like,
and rappers. You know.
nobody knew what he was saying, but he meant that shit.
Do I?
It's like James Brown. Nobody knew what he was saying, but he meant that
He
shit.
did, man. He screamed that shit through his soul. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no doubt. Well, James, here's what's up, man. I appreciate you for coming on, man, and giving me another great episode. This actually ran a lot longer than I wanted it to, but I'm not going to interrupt a great conversation with a great person. You know what I'm saying?
Right on. Well, hey, come up with some more questions up here, man. Try to stump me next time.
Oh, dude, no doubt. I mean, it wasn't about stumping you. I mean, it's not fucking Jeopardy. It was like fucking, hey, James, how are you? Harley Freeman wants to holler at you. Liam did ask how long you had been in music, and I really didn't know what to tell him because I know it had been a grip.
Yeah, I was doing some punk stuff. I want to say 87, 88.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking 86 because that's when I was born.
Yeah, that was some shit down in Florida, and I don't really. It didn't really go anywhere. I finally went pro here, 1990 or 91 here in Evansville, Indiana.
Okay.
He was, God, what was the first? Southgate, and then Cycle Souls, and 1369.
I remember 1369 for sure.
Yeah, then shit got tight, and had to switch over to country, so I did, did a band called Mid Ranger for 10 years. But anyways, about 30 years.
God, 30 years. That's beautiful, man. Longevity is a beautiful thing.
I didn't learn guitar until 2001, I think.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I got mad at everybody, so I was like, God damn it, I'll do it myself.
Hey, you know what? A lot of amazing musicians have had that opinion on it, and bruh, that's the way to go about it eventually, is to figure it all out yourself. That way it is what it is, and you don't have to worry about any kind of dumb shit,
Yep. I just went into the shed and bought myself a piano and guitar and bass. I was starting to track my own shit back then, so I was kind of, getting back into the how to track shit, how to produce shit.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's a never-ending obsession, to figure out what else you can do and how to master things. And I feel like the more I get into it, the more I love it. But man, it takes a part out of your soul when you put out something that you put so much effort into, and then it doesn't work out, and then you're like, okay, well, what if I take out this element of it? And then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to make the whole beat myself. And then I'm going to do all of the mixing and mastering myself.
Well, you pay yourself twice then.
You know what? Eventually I will, but at this point, dude, I dump every... Do what?
You were the recording artist and the publisher.
Oh, no doubt. And now it actually works out differently with publishing rights because of the way with songwriting licensing, so like it's really deep now. It's really, really deep. But dude, it's kind of better because everybody gets taken care of for what they do, so it works out a lot better. It's fractioned out a lot better,
Yeah, I mean, it's the same pie, so how are you going to slice it?
Exactly. And, in all fairness, you don't want a situation where you have a producer that sampled something, that you had no idea about, and then before you know it, you got fucking so and so suing you for a song that you literally did 13 years ago, and they're going to get you for $500,000.
Yeah, no, always, yeah, and that's the thing about King Kold. You're always straight and fair with your books,
100%. You have to be, because that's legalities. Like I mean, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And nothing in the business is a solid 100%, dude. But you gotta roll with the motherfucking punches and keep going, dude. Because when there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, and bad shit always just snowballs behind you and then runs you over like Indiana Jones at the end,
That's true. But dude, I look at it like you have to be able to do and take some kind of bullshit every once in a while to get anywhere. Every day's a struggle, and with humans, the hardest part of our day is leaving the fucking house most of the time, because, dude, nobody wants to be in public. Nobody wants to risk being around anyone that could make them sick. And it makes it hard for you to want to go out of your way to put effort into music sometimes, at least from my perspective. I'll wake up in the morning and be like, fuck it, I won't even boot up the computer some days. And then other days, dude, I'll be in this motherfucker for 14 hours, 17 hours straight,
That's part about it. Once you're pulled in, man, you just go till you collapse.
Oh, bro, you really do. And really when you get tired and you get lethargic, that's when you start making stupid mistakes, or like literally I've had a night and day situation is what I call it, where I go to bed thinking that something is so fucking tight, and then I wake up the next day and, dude, I listen to it and it's nope, back to the drawing board, gotta fix everything. Bruh, it's brutal sometimes.
Yeah, I called that, when I was making big mixing errors, I always said that, I did that with tired ears. My ears were worn out already,
Gremlins in the motherfucking system.
Well, I mean, your hearing, it fades, especially when you're sitting in front of a pair of monitors for several hours.
No shit, yeah, absolutely.
You get to a point where you can't hear glaring errors and shit, and then you hear it the next day, like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, just blatant shit, and it's like, well, okay, sometimes it wiggles through and you're like, damn. The worst ones are when, like, you hear a tick in something that got all the way through everything. Then you're like, fuck.
America was that way.
Yeah, the fuck it was, up until you fixed it.
Oh, man, we had to do microsurgery.
Yeah, that was brutal. And you know what, dude? I've gone back and I've opened up that original session, and I still cannot figure out what the fuck did that. I don't know if it was like the sample we used, or if it was like the mic got bumped, or what it was. But dude, it was brutal. Super fucking super.
Something that I did. I would start getting digital noise, where clips began and ended. When that was my indication that I had another Mixcraft running in the background and I didn't know about it.
Bruh, that happens sometimes. I have that happen, and it'll shut down my
clicks and shit. Yeah, look in your task manager and see if you've got another Mixcraft running somewhere.
Yeah, I've had it happen before. Like when I'm making beats and weaving different stuff in and out of one another, because like I'll have one beat that's super tight. Then I'll be like, okay, I'll try to use that as a template to make other beats. So I'll take that beat, drop it in off the waveforms, and then I'm like, okay, well, what can I change here? What can I change here? And I'll just craft something totally different. And then I'll forget about the other one being fucking open, and then I'll build for like 3 hours, and then my system will crash because I had too much shit open. It's, oh my God, and I didn't save any of it. That's brutal sometimes, dude. Like, you only do that shit to yourself once or twice. Dude, save. It's key.
Yes.
You gotta save that shit, man, for real.
That's a T-shirt. Save.
No doubt, and for multiple businesses that applies. It really does.
Yep.
All right. Well, look, James, I appreciate you being on the show again. Like I said, this will be the first episode of season 2. I'm super hype about it. We're going to have a new intro. We're going to have a new look to it. It's going to be a super cool format, man. And I'm going to have a bunch of really cool people on as guests for this season, man. I'm really happy that I got to start it out with you, buddy.
Nice. I got the fucking first one. Ah!
Yeah, no doubt, man. But, I think that'll just be like a consistent thing that we do is you'll have the first episode of every season, man. I think it'll just set it off correctly.
I'll put that in my repertoire.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No,
it's season 2, man.
yeah, motherfucker, first episode, season 2. What? All right, man. Well, look, James, thank you for being on the show, man. I really appreciate you. And if you need anything, as always, man, holla at me, okay?
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. Make sure you follow us and subscribe. Find me on Instagram at The Real King Kold. Find me on Twitter at The Real King Kold. And you can find me on Spotify and every major music distribution company in the world, baby. King Kold the rapper. Power requires hustle. 2021, baby. We survived to this year. Hopefully, we survive another one.
Twist it, hit it, smoke it till we're stupid, twist it, hit it, smoke it till we're stupid, twist it, hit it, smoke it till we're stupid, twist it, hit it, smoke it till we're stupid, smoke a
You are now listening to a Power Requires Hustle production.